what's your interest in this forum?
It's really to see different people's viewpoints, because in legislation you're inclined to get one particular viewpoint without taking all the other viewpoints into consideration. So it's really to try and see and hope that there are other legislators here who will appreciate the consequences of some of what they're proposing.
This week in France, and actually throughout Europe, is the week without pesticides. Considering today's discussion and the security discussions on food and feed, do you think that's a realistic objective?
Not really, because if I take Ireland in particular, where I'm from, farmers don't use pesticides because they like to use them. They're using them because they actually have to use them. They either have a disease, they have a pest. If they don't control that disease or that pest, we either end up with very blotchy vegetables, insects running around our lettuces, and then we're wondering why nobody controlled them. So I think it's a nice aspiration, but it's totally impractical.
There seems to be a lot of public concern about pesticides. Why do you think that is?
Fear of the unknown and a lot of hype. Is very much, if I say to you, don't drink petrol, well, you obviously know don't drink petrol, because you see petrol, virtually the kids know about petrol, they're seeing it being filled up in the car from when they're sitting in the back seat. Pesticides are something farmers use and other things, and I think it's an awful lot of bad publicity from particular quarters. But the bottom line is, without pesticides, we have a growing population worldwide. We're now heading towards at 6, and then we're going to be at 9 million. And we need to feed the world. And land is not growing. So we need to balance the two of them.
Thank you. My final question is, what role, if any, do pesticides play in the future of agriculture?
They're always going to have a place, because as if we take to even mention today, climate changes. So again, I'll refer back from an Irish point of view. We have ideal conditions to grow potatoes, but unfortunately we also have ideal conditions. We have damp, warm weather, which are ideal for funguses. Our fungicide and fungicides will need to be used there. So I think going down the line, if climate change comes in, we'll get a whole new different section of diseases and pests. And what are we going to do to control them? So they're always going to have to be there, and there is a need for them.
I do actually have one more question. What should industry, NGOs and pesticides and politicians do to meet these challenges that we're talking about today?
They all need to have a broader concept of what, if I can call it, let's say, an overall farm tied in with food production, tied in with the needs of the consumer. So they have to have basically an overseeing view. It's not just be an expert in your own area, but not realise that consequences that happen in one area have knock-on effects in the other. Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.